Hello class, we are at the end of this chapter and we are now doing those revision classes. Today is the revision class for human excretory system and it's a very important and interesting to this topic. So let's start it. What is excretion? When we say excretion, what is that? The removal of cellular waste, especially through the metabolic activities. Okay, so those when going outside, out of the cell, out of the body, that's excretion. And of course, it is not the removal of the undigested food material, means the fecal matter. It's specially to maintain the homeostasis, means the balance of the water within the body, that equilibrium condition to be maintained. And the important waste products are CO2, nitrogenous waste product like ammonia, urea or uric acid and many salts. We human beings are through excretion we are releasing the urea. Means there are three types of the animals. Some are ammonotelic, some are releasing the urea like ureotelic, or some are the uricotelic. So ammonia releasing, those are the ammonotelic like the fishes, uricotelic like the birds, and we are the urea releasing, that means the ureotelic, that means the human. Okay. To study this human excretory system, that's actually in class 10 syllabus. For that, we need to go through this detail. Human excretory system is the first diagram, that's detail. Then we will go through the kidney section study. Then we will study the nephron. So one by one I will explain these three things. Okay. So let's start it. This is the human excretory system. Actually, our kidneys are reddish brown, bean-shaped structure, and it's situated between the last thoracic and third lumbar vertebral region. We can say it's in the abdominal region. Okay, it's about 10 to 12 centimeter in length. So this kidney, actually this excretory system, main structures are one pair of kidneys, then this is a destination, means where the kidney output will be raised through the ureter. So kidney is joined with both the side to ureters, and that will open to the bladder. Ultimately, the urine will go outside through a process, muscular contraction, known as a micturition. So how it is done? For that we need to go through the structure of the kidney in detail. Let's have a look. Our kidney structure. Here, this is the renal cortex and this is renal medulla, means the outside structures. Here, within the cortex and the medullary structure, there actually the unit of the excretory system, means nephrons, are present. We can also see some parts like major calyx, minor calyx, these are the interior part, and renal artery will enter in the kidney, and then also there is a connection of the renal vein, renal artery for the oxygenated blood and vein of course for the deoxygenated blood. So the medulla is further divided into these calyx-like structures, and the cortex extends in between the medullary pyramids, these triangular structures present here within the kidney structure. Each kidney has nearly 1 million complex tubular structure called nephrons. These are actually the functional units. Let's take a look to the structure of the nephron. This is the structure of a nephron. So first important part, Bowman's capsule, and then comes glomerulus. These two together called the Malpighian corpuscles or renal corpuscles. These are connected with, in sequence, 1. proximal tubule, 2. loop of Henle, and 3. the distal tubule. After that, distal tubule is connected with the collecting duct. Okay. So how it works? So already we are familiar about the structure kidney, ureter, and urethra, that means the bladder, those parts, opening the bladder, those parts. Then we have taken a quick look to the structure of kidney. Now we are focusing at the structure of the nephron. Here we got 3 important names. First, Malpighian corpuscle, then the proximal tubule, loop of Henle, distal tubule, this part. Then comes the collecting duct part. Okay, so let's take a look how nephron works. Okay, this is an animated video. Let's take a look here. The structure of nephron. These kinds of structure, nephrons, are the present, okay, within the kidney. We can see now the structure of human kidney, where we are focusing in the main part, where we are focusing, that's the calyx and the renal pelvis part. Okay, here it contains millions of nephrons, this kind of structures. It's a long, tubular, and it's about 30 to 35 millimeter long structure. Now we will focus at the renal corpuscle. So this is that Bowman's capsule. Let's open it. Okay. Within it, there is glomerulus, a tuft of capillaries. It will bring the blood with the afferent arteriole, and it will go through this blood through the efferent arteriole. Together, glomerulus plus Bowman's capsule, renal corpuscle. So you can see now how afferent arteriole bringing the blood, it is going inside, and then efferent arteriole, they are from coming, and in between this, those not needed or reabsorbed for that needed part is coming through this structure, means the convoluted tubule part. This U-shaped structure is the loop of Henle, okay, and this is a descending limb of loop of Henle, and this is the ascending limb. Okay, this is of course the distal convoluted tubule, and the starting part was the proximal convoluted tubule, and it will connect it with the collecting duct. Now look here, each collecting duct or collecting tubule is connected with many this kind of nephron structure. Okay, now all together this will bind to form the duct of Bellini. That's a bit thicker. That will come here in this renal pelvis part. Okay, now what is happening here? Here, this glomerular, it's known as the ultrafiltration. Why? Blood is filtered so finely through these membranes that almost all the constituents of the plasma except the proteins pass to the lumen of Bowman's capsule. That's ultrafiltration. Then comes proximal tubule, reabsorbs water, salt, glucose, amino acid. Same function for the distal also. And there will be the loop of Henle, not for reabsorption, specially for to control the water content. In this way, the urine formation done. I will discuss in detail this functional part again, but hopefully already you got an idea regarding this. Fine. So let's go to the next part. So this is a structure, already we know the name. Outer side cortex, inner side medulla. Here tuft of capillary, name is already we know, glomerulus, covering is Bowman's capsule. Our kidney is so efficient that each and every day, okay, it filters. It's 180 liter per day. Our GFR, glomerular filtration rate, GFR, it is 180 liter per day. Can you imagine? But we are going to release urine of only 1.5 liter. That's why kidneys are so much important and efficient structure. It is not going to work properly. We need the dialysis. Okay. Anyways, that's a different part. Now the proximal convoluted tubule, first part, you can see here from some ions are taking outside or reabsorbed. Okay. So if needed, body cells suppose need sodium, chlorine, then what it will do? It can be reabsorbed from here. Then comes loop of Henle, especially you can see the descending limbs, water control part is done here. Whether a human or an animal will release concentrated urine or dilute urine, that depends upon this part. You can see whether how much water to be liberated outside is controlled here. Okay. Next part, distal convoluted tubule, again same kind of action as the proximal. Then the collecting duct, here another set of control regarding the water content to concentrate the urine or to maintain the body balance, body equilibrium of water, means homeostasis. So this part, when we talk about kidney, three main functions are performed by the nephron. First, tubular reabsorption. What is reabsorption? You already understood. Okay, means whatever we need in our body again to be taken inside. Second, the tubular secretion. Whatever not needed, that will go inside. Okay, so these two things, and with this ultrafiltration, very important. So here we will focus those functions with each and every part. Okay, so tubular reabsorption, tubular secretion, and with the first part, that's ultrafiltration. So glomerular filtrate, renal corpuscle generates the glomerular filtrate composed of by water, ion and small molecules. So that's the filtration, ultrafiltration. Without protein, everything comes to the lumen of the tubules. Now, proximal convoluted tubule reabsorbs sodium chloride, those ions, and secretes whatever not needed, that will go outside, to secretes within here that ammonium and creatinine. Loop of Henle, three main action. It can reabsorb the water or some ion sodium chloride and also ammonium sodium chloride. Thin ascending and descending, and then the thick ascending limb. Okay. Now last part, distal convoluted tubule again reabsorbs sodium and chloride. Last, collecting duct reabsorbs sodium chloride and water and secretes ammonium, hydrogen ion and potassium. If you compare with your book, you will get only this kind of a structure. So, my dear students, these extra things, at least 1 or 2 points you should remember regarding each part function. Name of each and every ion is not needed for all. I am again saying it's for those interested candidates, students. But yes, all of you go through it. Ultimately, it will help you to remember this chapter well. Practice this diagram or any other diagram which you think is easier for you, and of course the kidney structure diagram also. Now suppose the kidneys are not properly working, then what we need? This is the structure or figure of dialyzing machine. This is a dialyzer where from the blood removed for cleansing, and after dialysis done, again it will come back. In this way it is performed. Okay. It's a more clear diagram where you can see blood removed for cleaning. Then this is the dialysis fluid where it will be taken. And what for taken? Means blood drained from a convenient artery, and that's pumped into this dialyzing unit after adding an anticoagulant, that's heparin. Okay, and then this unit contains a coiled cellophane tube surrounded by the fluid, which fluid is having a same composition as that of the plasma except the nitrogenous waste. So the porous cellophane membrane of the tube now allows the passage of molecules based upon a concentration gradient. So now nitrogenous waste are absent in the dialyzing fluid. Okay, so these substances freely move out and it will clear the blood. So now last, the clean blood return to the body. In this way, dialysis performed in human body. So hopefully you understood this chapter subtopic well. Go through your NCERT text, then go through your those notes given or provided by me. These are the references, okay, and also go through those video classes. After that also you are having any query, you are having options. You can send your queries to my YouTube inbox or school comment box or my BITITA BG Vidita BG mail ID, or personally you can text me. But remember that whatever the problems you are facing, if you are not able to understand anything, interact, solve it out. Okay. So thank you all. Stay healthy, stay safe, stay at home, and we will meet in our next video class. Till then, bye.